These are some changes Wizard101 should consider making to their game. Hello everybody, it's Liam here, and welcome to today's video on the channel. And in today's video, I'll be discussing what I think Wiz should change about their game in 2023. Now, as always, if you guys disagree with any of my points, let me know why down there in the comments below, and let me know what you guys think should change about Wiz in 2023. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video, y'all. The first thing I think that should change about Wiz is gonna probably be their pet system. Now, I know a lot of people love pets, including myself, guys. I have over 100 pets, like mega ultra pets on my account. You know, I have all 7 max wizards, as you guys know. I've made a lot of pets with this current pet system. However, I can also acknowledge the fact that making these pets are extremely tedious, and even for the highest level of player, it can still be very frustrating and require a lot of resources. Now, the truth of the matter is the fact that most people do not know that much stuff about pet and do not have access to all those resources to make the pets, you know? This is why you see communities like PvP be so small, because the barrier to entry is so high to get into PvP, but you can't really get into it if you don't have a pet, right? A pet is a very crucial part of PvP. Even like a simple pet like this, which is like the meta pet for PvE right now, it just is a lot of effort and a lot of tries to make this kind of pet. And not to mention, right, the amount of snacks and crowns you need to make this pet with, you know, P9 potions, energy elixirs, stuff like that, is extremely demanding, and there's not really any free-to-play ways to get those, not in bulk, at least, those elixirs. So I think it's just extremely difficult for the majority of the audience to make a pet that they desire right now in Wiz. Now, it's just kind of a double-edged sword, because a lot of people do enjoy the challenge of pet making, and they, you know, a lot of people have almost mastered it to a T, right? Including myself. However, again, I can acknowledge the fact of the matter, as somebody who has 7 maxes and, you know, pages of perfect pets on every school, that this is just simply not really a great system for your average player if you are KingsIsle or Wizard101. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be the crown chop. Now, I briefly brought this up, I think, probably about twice on the channel. Maybe even just this year. But the crown shop, in my opinion, is really, really outdated, and I think Wiz really needs to update their crown shop. Now, there's a couple things I'm talking about when I say quote-unquote crown shop. It's not just like everything as a whole. Primarily, the pack system. I know there's a lot of people who might like to gamble and stuff like that, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that there's a lot of people that believe that the pack system is extremely predatory, you know? And for me, my biggest issue with this pack system is the fact that, you know, back in 2018, 2019, when loot boxes were like gaming monetization, right, all the other game publishers pulled out of doing loot boxes, but Wiz still has that system, and Wiz never changed their system when that whole thing came around, you know? So, the biggest issue with the pack is you can spend so much money and not get anything. Now, I'm somebody who has spent probably close to a rack on packs, and I still haven't gotten what I wanted. For example, the Gulcher pack, probably almost 300 there. Dino Mount, 200 there. And then every new pack, like Nightmare, Skyfire, and the Burrow Rebellion pack, easily 100 there, right? So, and a lot of these packs, I don't get what I want. So I think Wiz just really needs a pity system for their packs, or they just need to go back to the basics and try to rework the whole pack system, or whatever the hell this is system, because it's really just not good for the game. A lot of people don't like it, and I feel like I do speak for most people when I say that, but obviously I am aware there are people who do like to gamble, and that's fine, right? But I think my issue with the people that like to gamble is the fact that you are playing a game that is, predicated to younger audiences, right? And for the most part, you don't really want to have this kind of, business tactic towards that audience. That's why a lot of people think it's predatory. Also, I think there should be a lot more meta stuff in the crown shop. Like, for example, if I could just buy my Aeon Storm Wand or something from the crown shop, I think that'd be extremely helpful. And I know a lot of people might be like, well, I take a lot of pride in farming that, which is fair. But at the end of the day, and this might be a hot take, but the raid gear is the hardest gear to get in the game, and some of the best gear in the game, right? So if you want to take so much pride in getting gear, why don't you do raids, For the average PvE Joe, I feel like you should have an option to just directly pay for like the Storm Aeon Wand in the crown shop right here, for example. Now, obviously the price could vary on this. I don't know what they would price it as, but there's a lot of things, even from packs, like Turquoise Robe, right? I wish you could just directly buy that stuff from the counter shop and not have to worry about literally getting scammed by a company when you love the game. I think that's extremely messed up. Next up, I want to talk about the weekly events. Now, I am somebody who has done a lot of, Beast Moon, stuff like that, Decathlon, right? I have, the gauntlets for almost every school. I have the max tier fur coat for every school, pretty much. So, I play a lot of this stuff, and I think my biggest issue with the weekly events is kind of like just how repetitive they get after a while, Like, I can only get excited for Beast Moon, PvE, Mayhem, so many times in a row, or Decathlon, before I'm like, okay, I'm kind of tired of this, And I think a good way would be to update the rewards for this. Now, they did do that with Decathlon, if you guys recall correctly. We did get some Power Claws, which is pretty cool, and a new dragon outfit that I don't think anybody likes, unfortunately. But I digress, So I think we just need, honestly, in my opinion, in Beast Moon Decathlon, at least, I think you need better drops every time like you beat a floor on Decathlon. And every time you beat a level in Beast Moon, I think you should get better drops. Because right now, at least how it feels as a player, is you don't really get much for like completing a floor or a level. And I would really like to see that change. And you can really see this problem be highlighted in stuff like, what is it called? One of the Beast Moon robes there, where you need like literally thousands and thousands of threads, right? You have to play a ridiculous amount of Beast Moon, but you might only get 2 threads per, per half an hour beating tier 3 in Beast Moon, It's really not that good. So I guess in general, what I'm saying here, I just wish things were not as grindy, and I don't dare I say unfair to get in general, in terms of PvE, in terms of like, these weekly events especially. I don't think weekly events should be this grindy. I would understand if it's like Novus, because, players have to wait a year to get more new content, but a weekly event, man, like that's just too much work right now. The bar is set too high to even get some of these rewards, and it doesn't feel that good for beating a stage or a level in Beast Moon's case. But I don't know, man, might be a hot take. Last but not least, I want to talk about the guild system. Now, a lot of people do not know what a guild is. Well, you probably do, but they are in Wiz. There's a guild kiosk right here, social kiosk in Old Town. Guilds, basically, then you can pick what you want to join here, but I don't think there's a lot of guilds. Yeah, there's only 3, but I know personally probably about 10 just in the PvP community, mind you. And there's a lot of people that do not know about raids and how, really good the raid gear is, right? The Nullity robe is the best robe in the game for every single school, like hands down, like objectively. Like you literally cannot debate this at level 160 right now. This is the best PvE robe in the game. And the only way to get that is to be in a guild, unlock the portal and the island, gather 12 people that are competent and know how to consistently beat the raid, and then get lucky, and then get the drop you want, and and then upgrade that via Novus, and it's just so much, man. It's so much, you know? So I really think a better indicator to players being like, oh, hey, guilds and raids are a thing, you might want to check this out, you know? I think that'd be really, really helpful, in my opinion, because right now, I feel like it's just not that important to be in a guild or whatnot, and I feel like a lot of people just don't know what the raids are or what the guild system is, and I feel like by this time next year, there's going to be a big divide in the community in terms of people that, you know, like have vanilla gear and people that just have Aeon gear, you know? So, I don't know, man. I would just really like to see KingsIsle do something more in terms of raids and guilds and really get it out there more for the broader audience, because I know there's a big audience out there for Wiz, and a lot of them just don't really get to see the light of the day in terms of updates, whether it's PvP or, you know, like a raid now. And it's really sad to see because the devs put a lot of work into that, and I'd love to see, you know, every player have a chance or a shot at doing it. But that's everything I have to say in the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, y'all.